stuff
This
works.
conference will now be recorded.
But the deal is, you want to start something where the amount of money you have to put in for the amount of money that you're going to get out is 4 to 10 times greater. A restaurant doesn't allow that. Okay, so now if you went and started doing something like setting up, I don't know, a barbecue pits or something like that, and you went around to fairs and that type of thing, well then yeah, I'd say that works because the amount of money you can charge at a fair for food is exorbitant. The amount of money and rent that you have to pay, and what you can charge people to come into your restaurant, it just doesn't match up. So you have to either have something that you're extremely good at and people love your food. Other than that, I just don't think a restaurant is what we want to do at this stage of the game. We want to do things that, once again, allow us to have a 4 to 10 times return or more on our monies, okay? So if you have good credit, start going out and applying for business line of credit cards today. Because most of the people on this call have a corporation or an LLC or something of that nature. And if you don't, go to your Secretary of State and file for a corporation or LLC today. And as soon as you get that corporation or LLC back, then the first thing I want you to do is start going out and applying for business lines of credit. Because you have to understand, when it comes to business line of credit cards and business lines of credit in general, so loans and what have you, they do not base the good standing of your business when the loan application is being taken in, right? I mean, they would like to know, how long have you been in business, what is your tax ID number, and all this other stuff. But it's primarily based upon you in the beginning, right? So this is what we want to work with. And also the magic of business line of credit cards is that they are stated income. And so we want to rock with that in a big way. That's why we want to start expanding our credit. We want to start telling our story in a different way. We want to start saying, no, I'm not that $60,000 a year person. I'm the $97,000 a year person. We're future casting. We're rocking this program. Next thing that we're going to do is, once you have business line of credit cards, they're established, you have them, you're a few months in, you've I don't know, let's say you've garnered somewhere around $25,000 because you have decent credit, or even $100,000 over a 3-month period of time. The magic of this is the inquiries are going to show up on your personal credit file, but the business line of credit cards will not, except for rare exceptions like Capital One Spark for Business. So I suggest that you don't necessarily get Capital One Spark for Business unless you just want some quick fast credit, because they do tend to give credit fairly easily. So, there's a ton of them. There's Chase, there's the Bank of America has business cards, Wells Fargo, your local savings and loan, your local, whatever. I mean, there's a shitload of business line of credit cards out there that you can utilize, that you can go after. And we do this once again because of stated income, and it will give you the money that you need to start setting your business up to look like a real business, so that way you can start building and growing in a larger way. This is a program. This is the deal right here. I'm telling you guys, I am not putting this out for a re-recording or whatever. This is get your pen and paper, write this stuff down. So the next thing that we're going to do is, once we've garnered some business line of credit cards, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to start going after business line of credit loans. And the reason we go after the loans secondarily is because we want to be established. We want to be established first. We want to show up We want to start getting reported to Experian. We want to start getting reported to Equifax Business and Dun & Bradstreet. And so we go after the business line of credit cards first. Once we have that, then we're going to start going after the loans, business line of credit loans for a new business. In particular, if somebody's making noise and you really need to stop or just get off the call. So now, once we start getting these business line of credit loans, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start building out our corporation. And we're going to do that in a couple of different ways. You're going to take the money that you've received from your business lines of credit cards and your business line of credit loans for new businesses, and you are going to start getting a little office set up. I don't give a crap if it's a shared office space. Now, we don't want to do one of these big buildings that like Regency and these kind of companies that have like 50 offices in one place. We don't want to do that. We want to find someone. It could be a small realtor, a small attorney's office, just some kind of small business. And we're going to say to them, hey, look, I just need to rent a desk in your office. And the reason we do that is because all those places like Regency and all that other shit, they fill up in the when the credit grantors do a reverse search on your address, it'll show Regency first. Okay, so then they're going to think, you're not really you're business we want to do business with, right? They don't really like virtual offices. So we want some kind of, just, it doesn't matter, just a little desk in the back of somebody's place. That's it. That's all you need. So then once we have that, you're also going to start going out and getting Uline. You're going to get, the list is long, actually. Bags and Bows, Uline, Granger, FedEx Kinko's, any of the AT&T, I don't know, all the different cell phone companies that are out there. They all offer corporate credit. And once again, as we've already talked about in the past, corporate credit is credit that is granted to your business, but it does not require you or anyone else to be a grantor. It just is based purely on the good standing of the corporation, right? And these are beginning lines that you can get. The Grangers of the world, the FedEx Kinko's and the Ulines and so on and so forth. We're doing this in tandem, right? So we start with the personal, it being in check. Then we start going after business lines of credit cards, as well as business lines of loans. And then we start smashing on our corporation, so completely unsecured stuff, Now, when it comes to the corporation, there's something that you need to know. You can go out right now on Google and find companies that will sell you trade lines to go onto your corporate file. So we have a lot of people that do this. We have resources for that, but you need to find your own because obviously we give out those resources to our paid clients, and it would be kind of unfair to just give them out on this call. But you can find them. There are plenty of them. So let's say that you just happen to have a corporation you haven't really done much with, and it's a couple of years old, or an LLC. You can literally go out, find one of these companies, and they will place on your corporation or LLC a $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000 trade line showing up on your credit file. And what they'll do is, let's say it costs you like $4,000 or $3,000 or $2,000. It doesn't matter, because you'll have the money from your business lines of credit cards and business lines of credit loans to pay for that. So you got to do your due diligence, though, because there are a lot of people that are very fraudulent, and will take your money and run off with it. So we have to be very diligent about who we spend our money with. So you're going to find these people that do that type of thing. What will happen is you're going to pay them the whatever their fees are, the $2,000 or $4,000 or whatever it may be, and then you're just simply going to pay them. They're going to add, typically 2 or 3 trade lines onto your business. And even if they're brand new, it doesn't matter, because the way it works is, let's say it's a $200,000 line of credit that they place. Over time, they're going to report that you're paying down that $200,000 at maybe $5,000 a month or whatever it may be. And then over the course of a year or 2 years or however long, they're going to end up showing that was paid off. But what happens in the interim is that your Experian business file, your Equifax business file, and in some cases your Dun & Bradstreet is just gonna blow up. You guys get this? You're gonna have this ridiculously awesome and powerful credit file across the primary business credit. I'm sorry. I'm having brain space. Sorry. But you get what I'm saying, excuse me. So once you guys have your business files built up, and simultaneously you're building up your personal, your business, and your corporate across the board, what will happen eventually, if you're smart and you're paying your bills on time and everything, you do all that you're supposed to, is that you will start to be able to go after credit where you do not have to be a guarantor anymore. See the magic of that? So we start where we start. We start with the lowest hanging fruit, which is the credit cards, the business line of credit cards. Then after that, we go after the loans. Loans are really good. They're awesome, but often they require more information from you, where the credit cards don't. Then we start adding these small corporate accounts onto they're going to be 30-day net, that type of thing. Some of them in the beginning are going to be COD. It doesn't matter, because we want them to start reporting to Experian business, Equifax business, and in some cases, Dun & Bradstreet. And then if you have the money, which you should, you're going to then turn around and buy these trade lines and let them work their way down. Okay, they're going to be brand new in most instances. There are people that sell seasoned trade lines, but I'm like, why bother? It's just because you're going to run a slight risk of messing up your overall file, and that's just not a good look, because you're going to be putting a lot of time, effort, energy into this, and if you put something seasoned on there, meaning that it has age to it already, and it just shows up on your credit file, a lot of times the credit bureaus will kind of look at that negatively. Okay, so most often people get away with it, but you just don't want to be that person that they end up shutting down your file. So just start from scratch. It's not a big deal, because you're getting these large lines to show up, and they're going to show that they're being paid. It's really simple stuff. So are you guys grasping this? It is hugely important that you guys understand this, because none of this stuff is hard. It's not magic. It's not hard. I mean, obviously, there are things that when a client is working directly with us, I give them, hands-on, right? So I cut down their learning curve. But all of this stuff is stuff that you guys can do. It's just that simple. So I want you guys to start today. If you're not incorporated or have an LLC set up, I need you to figure out how you can get one done in your state. Okay, you don't want to, in some other state or anything crazy like Vegas or Wyoming, or you want it in your state or Delaware. Then once you have that, if you have a decent FICO score, you're going to just literally go out. You can go to creditcards.com and just put in business credit cards, and a slew of business credit cards will pop up, and you just apply for them. It's just that simple. Then after you receive these cards, some of them will take a moment, okay? So don't start tripping and calling and bugging people. Now, if they give you a time frame and they say that your time frame is you should have your card in 7 to 14 days, which is kind of standard, then if you don't receive it in, let's say, 21 to 30 days, then that's when you're going to go ahead and give them a call very nicely, and you're going to say, I'm just checking on my application. And then at that point in time, they might say, well, we need a little, a copy of your ID or whatever the case may be. It's rare that they're going to ask for any type of financial documentation. And if they ask for ID, what they're basically what they're saying is that you are just not established enough to get an instant approval. Does that make sense to you guys? And so we have something that we're going to talk about to help you get really established. It's the same thing that I have people that buy our credit building system, and then they get their free CPN. When they buy our credit building system, it's the same thing that they do. Showing that you exist, that you are well established in your community and at that address is very important. So what I tell people is you want to make sure that you are listed in the 411 directories, the online 411 directories. You want to make sure that you have some of these BS club cards from like Walgreens or your local grocery stores, right? Because all that information is saved. And the credit builders, the credit bureaus buy all that information. And then they subsequently package it and resell it. So the more you look like a solid citizen, if you will, a person that resides at XYZ address, you've been there for multiple years, you have a lot of things showing that you are who you say you are, then at that point in time, hold on a second, I just want to make sure we're all good here. At that point in time, what ends up happening is that you just look better all the way around, and it becomes an easier reason for them to give you credit. Are you guys catching this stuff? Anybody? I know you guys are at work. I know Alan's at work.
Yes, I'm catching it.
Cool. So we want to get show ourselves as developed as possible, as a credit personality. Very important. So one of the other things that you can do is there's a site which I've mentioned before. It's called listyourself.net. that will help put you in the 411 directories. As I've said in the past, they are a 411 aggregator, so they will place you in a bunch of different 411 directories at one time. Then I would also suggest that you go to Super Pages and do the same thing. Get yourself listed in superpages.com, because what you guys have to understand is that the credit granters will do a reverse search on you. It's just built into their system, and they want to know that you exist, they want to know that you're there. So once you have that and you're solid, you should have no problem in getting anywhere from $15,000, $20,000, $7,000 or $8,000, all these different figures from the business line of credit grantors. And that means either credit cards and or loans. That's it. There's no magic, and you guys got to start this today. So a lot of you come on these calls. I know that I see a lot of the same numbers. I see a lot of the same names that pop up, and my fear is that a lot of you that come on these calls don't actually do anything with the information that you're getting. And I'm making it so simple for you. You know, I charge a lot of money. Even my hour sessions have gone up to $500 an hour to have this type of conversation with people. So you guys are getting this for free. And I just want you to utilize it, because if you're not utilizing it, and if I don't start getting some positive stories from you guys, then I'm just going to cut these calls out, because it's at that point in time, it becomes a waste of my time to continue. Or I'm going to start charging. All right, so I have people that are on my team, and they say, Pascal, dude, you should be charging. You know, there are people on Instagram that are charging $49 for just a call like this. And the thing is that they give out crap, absolute utter crap. I bought a ladies program the other day, and I didn't actually get to listen to the call itself. I listened to the recording, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is like, she's giving out like grade school bullshit. And it's just, this right here is PhD level stuff. If you guys just open your minds and just understand the simplicity of what I'm giving you, and just say to yourself that I have to do a little bit of work, right? I'm not paying Pascal his $5,000 fee, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of work on your part, to find these companies that will add a trade line to your corporation if you already have one that has a little age to it. Even if it's new, there are companies that will add trade lines, and it will just start counting down or paying itself off as, you know, over the course of time, which is just like freaking awesome, right? All of this stuff you guys can do. You can go to for your business. Same thing as with your personal. We want to be listed everywhere. You can go to Fiverr.com, and which we talk about a lot. And there are companies on, people on Fiverr that will get your business listed. We talked about this last week. They'll get your business listed in all the 411 directories. And what does that do for your business? It makes your business look like it is a real business. I work from home, and I had this guy call me up. I had bought this program for about some real estate stuff, taxing sales. And I had this guy call me up, and he was saying, well, you know, we were looking you up because I heard about the program, and they wanted to see if I could afford to do their next program, their $20,000 program. So the guy was talking to me, and he's like, well, you know, we looked you up, and, you know, you have a really good business there. We found you everywhere. And I was like, dude, I work from home. And he's like, you're kidding, right? You know, it's like, because your business shows up everywhere. Because once a year, I go to Fiverr and I pay these people to get me listed in all the directories, to get me listed in the maps, like Google Maps, Yahoo Maps, Bing Maps. There's like 50 different, 100 different maps that you want to get listed in. They're called citations, map citations. And so I wanted to be every freaking where I could be, because if someone looks up my business, they go, he's in business. He's legit. Where other people are, they're not thinking about that shit. And you guys have to start thinking in these terms where you, as a person, have to appear everywhere. Your business has to appear everywhere. I mean, within your region, within your city, you got to show up. You got to, if they do a reverse search, you got to show up. And that's all it takes to start building this credit. That's all it takes to start building this money up. Any questions? Okay, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. Okay, so since there are no questions, I have given you guys literally $10,000 worth of information. Now, whether you utilize it or not, you know, to you in your hands, that information might be worth 10 cents. And the reason it's going to be worth 10 cents to you is because you're not utilizing your imagination. You're not utilizing true desire to want to get to where you say you want to be. You know, so many of us talk so much shit about what we want to do, all this extra BS, and we don't move forward. I wrote my book. It's done. It's completed now, and I have to get it edited. But it all came from me flipping the script with inside of me and saying, I can't bullshit anymore. I can't play. There's certain things that I want to achieve, certain levels I want to get to. And so therefore, I need to stop playing with myself and do this stuff. And writing that book was one of the steps in me doing better for me, which ultimately, me doing better for me means that I can do better for my family. It means I can do better for other individuals that I care about, and I can also be more charitable because I'm filling my well, and then I will have more overflow. So I had to write that book. It took me a little over 2 weeks because I had maybe 20 rewrites, but I did it because I want to place myself in a certain position. You guys have to make the decision. Either this information is worth 10,000 or 100,000 or $1 million to you, or it's worth 2 cents to you. I really don't give a shit. It's going to be because I'm going to do well. I'm going to do me. So if you guys choose to, this is the information that will transform your existence. I am very happy. I got a call yesterday. This guy, oh man, I'm sending you $600. And he's like, oh, dude, yeah, from the stuff here's $600. And that's on a Sunday when I don't want to be bothered with anybody. This guy was sending me $600. How many of you are doing that? Start living your better you. It's important. So I'm going to end this call by telling you guys. I was going through YouTube. I like to watch motivational stuff, and I saw something, and it was Oprah Winfrey, and she was talking. It was very motivational, but it was very long, and but it was good stuff. It was good content. And then the next video up was a video with Steve Harvey. Actually, it was a couple of videos down, and the reason I clicked on it is because it looked like this brother was about to start crying. I was like, oh, let me watch this one, because why is this brother crying, right? And so I clicked on the Steve Harvey video, and honestly, I'm not a fan because I don't think he's funny, but hey, everybody has their thing. But this video was so powerful. It completely changed my thought process, my mindset about Steve Harvey, just from this one little video. And I'm just telling you guys, It is amazing how that works, right? I mean, he literally changed how I felt about him as a person because his video was so touching and empowering. So I'm trying to find here the key points, right? So give me 1 second if I can find it. Okay, so in this video, it was Steve Harvey when he had his show. He was talking to his audience, I guess, before the show started. And the deal is he was telling these people, he was like, look, man, I don't have education. I'm not the smartest guy. He said, I don't do math. He goes, if you get past, 2 plus 2 and 1 times 1, I'm out of there. I'm done. I hire people for that. He says, I was raised poor. We had nothing. But my mama told me that, Steve, you're going to be great. You're going to do better. And he held on to that. Even through his trials and whatever it's called, trials and termination, I don't know, whatever. But the point is that this brother was talking about, how he slept in his car. He went through hard times when he was young. He couldn't even speak. He stuttered. He could not do the things that he felt he was able to. He couldn't even imagine the things that he's living through now. But he started saying that people started he started seeking out wise counsel. I'm sorry. When he started seeking out wise counsel, people that knew more about the shit that he wanted to do than him, then he started seeing a larger vision of himself. He started placing himself in that vision. And then finally, he was given some scripture. And so, as you all know, I'm the furthest thing from a religious person. But I do read multiple religions because I like good content. I like wise words, okay? And so these are 3 scriptures that Steve Harvey said literally transformed and changed his life. And you can find this in Think and Grow Rich. You can find it in. You guys, somebody needs to stop talking. So here are these 3 scriptures, you guys. The first one is, you have not because you ask not. Think about that. You have not because you ask not. The second one is, faith without works is dead. That's power, right? And the third one is, write your vision and make it plain. Are you guys catching this? This is all the stuff that we constantly talk about. I even paid out $100 to different people to start their journals. I was like, look, let's start our journals. Let's write our shit down. And anybody who could show me that they were writing their journal out every day for a week, I sent them $100. Right? I didn't play with their money. I sent them their money. Because it's so important to me that you all understand that writing our vision down and making it plain works. It is so important to me for you all to understand faith without works is dead. It means nothing. So me writing my book is me having faith in me, in my abilities, in my thought process, in my imagination, to be able to do this stuff that I say that I want to do, to be able to feed, clothe, and house people, to be able to enlighten people, to be able to inform people, to do all these things. But part of it starts with me writing this book. So I had to do that book. You guys are getting gold. And if you don't use it, shame on you. And it is the truest thing ever. You have not because you ask not. I mean, folks, I created a business out of thin air that over a good period of time has taken care of me and my family, because I was damn near crying in the shower, asking the universe to give me a thought, an idea to get me out of the financial stress and strain that I was in. And this thought came to me, well, you're making $20, $30, here and there on selling this book on CPNs. Well, why not just, instead of having the link go to sell these books, have people come directly to you and you teach them the process and give them a CPN and charge them $150. So even if you only did 2 a week, that's $300 a week. And so that's exactly what I did. That thought process came to me when I was in an emotional state, feeling and believing that there's something greater. I've had success in the past, and that success went away. And that's happened several times in my existence. This last time, I was like in a scenario where I needed money, and I said, you know what, I need this to happen. And in my mind, because I asked for it, this thought process came and said to me, hey, Pascal, you can take this shit that you're already selling. People are going to these YouTube videos, change the information on the video, and you started talking to these people directly, and instead of $30 or pop on buying these stupid ass books, they can pay you $150. That shit turned into over $100,000 a year because I asked for it. Do you get that? So I've given you guys the tools. What you do with it is on you. So thank you guys for coming on the call. I apologize for, obviously the technical difficulties I had. I wasn't able to get on the call as quickly as I would have liked. But so you guys, please, for your own sake, all of us, including myself, have trouble moving out of our own way. And the thing is, y'all, you just got to do it in these incremental steps. You really have to say to yourself, I'm going to do this little thing to push myself forward. That's it. And just every day do something towards your goal. All right. Yes.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you, Pascal.
You're welcome.
For the great information that you shared with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for coming on the call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully you guys have learned something from this. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.